Castro Valley for 7.5 years. And I'm just here to show support for issuing an interim operating license for Muzo's. I think it'll provide an opportunity for teenagers and young adults to get jobs. Thank you, that's it.
Thank you.
If you can't have a big parking lot, and the rest, a lot of people walk on that street between this place and that place. Sometimes I'll just walk down the street. So it's an interesting way to approach it. When I get a day off, I like to be able to go somewhere. And it's nice to go to a place where if you make a suggestion on the menu, you might think about it, and 3 months later you see a difference. You can't talk to a corporation, and it's hard to work as a group. Each person has to pull their part, and it's really hard to make it come together so it's organized. But along with organization, all of us, even in ourselves, need flexibility. And I see he's still got his heart in it, and I'm surprised. And I'm grateful for that, and I hope you'll consider giving him some flex and see if it opens up. If it fails, are you willing to go ahead? You're willing to dive in. So he's willing to dive in. So that it's really him making the application, but I'd like to support it.
Sorry about that. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. I think I'm going to pretty much repeat what everybody's already said. This is a great idea. This is a great idea. This could revitalize the entire boulevard. You know, having a place where you want traffic. You guys have spent 3 years redoing the streets down there. They turned out really nice. So we need to get people down there. We need people walking the street. And case in point, to prove that fact, you guys are now entertaining food trucks, and you want to dot them on the boulevard. Well, why not give the fella an opportunity to open his business? Folks want their lemonade. Folks want a hot dog. A hot dog is as American as apple pie. I mean, when the day comes when you're not going to allow an entrepreneur to sell a hot dog, I don't think we're in America anymore. That place is all about Castro Valley charm. That's what it's all about. You're never going to turn Castro Valley into Walnut Creek. You're never going to turn Castro Valley into Orinda, Pleasanton. And you know what? Castro Valley doesn't want to be Walnut Creek or Pleasanton. Castro Valley wants to remain Castro Valley with its wonderful charm. And that's what that place is all about. When it comes to conforming usage, the building was built with a particular conforming use that exists today that hasn't changed. So as far as a consideration of being non-conforming, I have to disagree with you. That building is not non-conforming, it conforms. When you take into consideration that you shut the boulevard down for 3 years with the construction. The small businesses on that boulevard lost between 70 and 80% of their business. So why not give the existing infrastructure, a resident of Castro Valley, that's a poster child of small business right there. You got Obama preaching day and night, he wants to foster small business, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, and here you guys are on the local level, not allowing it to happen. That's not right. I don't know if any of you guys have ever opened up a lemonade stand out of your own back pocket, or a hamburger stand. But you know, making a payroll week to week, month to month is not an easy task. So it's easy to have a particular job where you make a decision, where you tax folks to spend their money, but it's a different story when you try to create something out of nothing. And that's what this gentleman is doing.
Okay.
Well, I think somebody will give me their couple of minutes. I'm almost done here.
No, time
But,
is up, sir.
okay, that's fair enough. But, let the guy dive in. This is a great opportunity for Castro Valley.
Sir, your time is up.
Okay, thank you.
a basic American small town, taking care of our own problems. But one thing we should address is that this hot dog stand, which I have never met the man, but I remember as a boy driving down the boulevard, and it was painted orange, and it was part of the big orange fast food things where they have fresh orange juice, and they were up and down the valley on Highway 99, and when the 3 air-conditioned cars, that was your oasis. And so I think you actually have a historical place. It's one of the older buildings on the boulevard. In addition, I'd known for 25 years, when it was a Chinese stakeout, you could walk down there, and my kids would walk down there, and they could walk up to the window and order. In fact, they had no sit-down counter. You had to order at the window. And this was allowed probably for 50 or 60 years. This building's been there as it, using a window for takeout. So how can you suddenly make a change and say this is not okay? If you're going to do that, man up to it, woman up to it, and pay the guy, make it, let him refund his money somehow. He put up the risk, he went through and he did it. Just the same type of business has been there forever. So what's the right thing to do? Let's just say, okay, this is an existing, it's been there before, so let's let it go ahead and take a shot at having a hot dog place. You may like it. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone. Good evening. My name is Michael Kuziak. I am a more current resident of Castro Valley. I moved here about 4 years ago. And I'm probably one of those yuppies who really loves the vision of the master plan, who really sees this beautiful streetscape. And I think it's a great document that you all put together. And I encourage everyone in here to take a look at it. However, I think we also need to acknowledge that there are opportunities to, in the short run, allow other options for that space until maybe a more permanent development can happen there. And I think Mark has a really interesting idea, a creative idea that can revitalize that space and help us imagine the boulevard in a different way. Imagine it as like a little outdoor dining garden or something like that that you go on a warm summer's evening. I think there's a way to balance this. Mark is, from what I can tell, assuming the risk of the various improvements that the county is saying that he must take. So I don't see where the risk is for the county. I'm not a planning expert, so my apologies if there are some things that I'm assuming that aren't correct. But give him a few years to try it, and maybe he can find a more permanent location, and that would also give the county some time or some other developers to imagine a different use for that space, consistent with the plan. And to everyone in here, I encourage you to check out some of the good work that RMAC and members of our planning team have done, because they are, I think we're all in it together for a really great Castro Valley, a Castro Valley we want to live in. That's more people and more user-friendly.
That's right.